Welcome, curious minds, to the deep dive. Today, we're really zeroing in on a corner of the crypto market that's got a lot of buzz. We're talking about Remittix, or RTX.
Hmm.
There's this big question floating around, based on a whole stack of reports and chatter. Could Remittix actually be the altcoin breakout for 2025?
Right, not just growth, but potentially like explosive growth post-presale.
Yeah.
Some are even throwing around numbers like 100x.
Exactly. It's a really bold claim, and that's what we're going to unpack today.
It definitely needs a close look, especially, in the crypto world. Things move so fast, it's often pretty wild.
Uh-huh.
So, our mission here, for you listening, is to give you a clear path through all this. We've waded through, well, a lot of material market analysis, reports, even what people are saying online, project docs,
All of it.
to pull out the really key stuff, the insights you need, cutting through the noise.
Yeah, because the crypto market, it can feel like just this massive wave of info coming at you, overwhelming. But Remittix, and this comes up again and again in the sources, it seems to occupy this kind of unique space. It's really trying to connect crypto, which can feel abstract, with actual everyday finance, payments specifically.
That bridge is key between decentralized tech and traditional finance.
So let's peel back the layers. What actually makes RTX stand out in such a, frankly, crowded field?
Okay, so looking at everything, we've sort of identified 5 main pillars. These are the foundations, really, for why people are seeing this growth potential in Remittix.
5 pillars. Okay.
Yeah, and understanding these isn't just about what Remittix is, but why it's getting all this attention, all this investment right now. Each one's backed by different analyses, and we'll see how they fit together.
All right, let's dive headfirst into number 1. Pillar 1, and you could argue it's the most important for any project wanting to stick around, real-world pay-fi utility.
PayFi.
Right, pay-fi for everyone listening. That's basically where payments meet decentralized finance, making blockchain transactions smooth, efficient, integrated, like traditional payments, but better.
And Remittix is aiming squarely at a real pain point here. Cross-border payments. Sending money internationally.
Oh, yeah. Many of us have felt that pain, right? Sending money home, international business stuff. It's often slow, expensive.
Exactly. And a core info from sources like CoinMarketCap, India Times, Crypto Economy, they all point to Remittix enabling these seamless crypto-to-fiat payments directly into bank accounts.
And not just anywhere across, over 30 countries already? That's quite a reach.
It is. And what jumps out from the sources are the differentiators Remittix is promoting. First, no foreign exchange fees, no FX fees.
Okay, that's big. Usually those eat up a decent chunk.
A huge chunk sometimes. And second, this claim of no bridges needed.
No bridges. In crypto, bridges usually connect different blockchains, right? Let assets move between them.
Precisely. And while they're often needed, they've also been, well, let's be honest, major security risks. We've seen massive hacks.
Millions lost, yeah.
Plus, they add complexity, slow things down. So, Remittix saying no bridges, that implies a much smoother, more efficient process. Potentially safer, too.
No FX fees and no bridges. I mean, for anyone who's dealt with sending money abroad, that sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it?
It does raise an eyebrow, but that's the claim.
You compare that to the old ways, like SWIFT transfers. Agonizingly slow. Fees pop up out of nowhere.
Go pay, yeah.
Or even services like Western Union or Wise, they still have their complexities, their exchange rate markups, delays.
Definitely. And even within crypto itself, it's often not simple. You might have to swap to a stable coin, then use an exchange to get fiat, then withdraw.
Right, multiple steps, each costing time and money, fees, market slipping.
Exactly. So the deeper insight here, it's not just about fewer steps. It might be a whole different architecture for how money moves between crypto and banks.
Like re-engineering the on-ramp and off-ramp?
Potentially, yes. The sources hint it's not just marketing talk. It could be, direct API links with banks, or maybe some kind of private ledger handling the conversion and payout.
Ah, okay.
So it bypasses the usual vulnerabilities and hassles of those typical on-chain bridges by working at a, let's say, more direct financial layer. It's about cutting out complexity and cost.
So if they pull that off, fewer middlemen, fewer points where things can go wrong, and a direct line from crypto in your wallet to cash in a bank account in, say, India or Mexico or Nigeria.
Instantly, potentially.
That's a massive value proposition. It hits right at the high cost for migrant workers sending money home, the cash flow delays for businesses, even just the annoyance of cashing out crypto gains without losing a big slice.
Right. Coincentral, Coindu, they really emphasize this potential for genuine widespread use, not just people trading the token,
Yeah.
but actually using it for real financial needs.
That's the holy grail, isn't it? Actual utility.
It really is. If they deliver on this consistently, Remittix isn't just another crypto project. It's a practical tool for a globalized world. That focus on utility, that's what builds long-term value, separates it from purely speculative plays.
A foundational shift, potentially. Okay, compelling utility is one thing, but you need market buy-in, investor confidence, which leads us perfectly to pillar 2, pre-sale momentum and that CEX listing trigger.
The presale has been impressive. Sources like Globe Newswire, A-Invest, they talk about significant funds raised, getting close to or maybe even past that $20 million mark.
And hitting $20 million isn't just a nice number, is it? It's more than that.
Way more. It's a direct, predetermined trigger. Hitting that mark automatically kicks off their first major listing on a centralized exchange, a CEX.
Oh, interesting. Like it's hard-coded into their plan.
Exactly. Bitmart is mentioned specifically as an example. It shows a clear roadmap, a commitment to getting the token out there, making it accessible, liquid. It's not just a vague, we hope to list someday.
Gotcha. It's a specific catalyst tied to a measurable achievement. But maybe for listeners less familiar, why is getting listed on a big CEX like Bitmart such a huge deal for a token?
It's transformative, really, on multiple levels. First, liquidity skyrockets. It becomes much easier to buy and sell the token without the price jumping around wildly. That's key for bigger trades, and it attracts more serious, maybe institutional money.
Oh, right. Makes it more stable, easier to trade.
And second, maybe even more important, exposure. Suddenly, millions of people on that exchange platform have easy access to Remittix, people who probably wouldn't bother with a smaller presale.
So a much wider audience, a bigger pool of potential investors.
Instantly, and many of these users trust the exchange. They see listed tokens as somewhat vetted.
And that increased access, that new demand, often pushes the price up, right? At least initially.
That's the classic effect, yeah. Increased accessibility meets fresh demand. It definitely echoes those milestone-driven surges we've seen before.
Like with Ethereum getting listed more widely or Solana hitting major exchanges and wallets. Those were big moments for their prices.
The comparison feels apt. While Remittix is newer, its strategy tying the CEX listing directly to presale success, it mirrors the deliberate steps taken by successful projects in the past.
It's a calculated move.
Absolutely. Leveraging a concrete achievement, raising the funds to unlock the next level, visibility, confidence, adoption. Sources like Coincentral and India Times point this out as a key strategic element.
Okay, that makes a lot of strategic sense. Now let's look at pillar 3. The beta wallet, real-time, FX, and global reach. This is where that utility we talked about starts to become, a real product people can use.
Sources like the Jerusalem Post, ETF.com, they mention a Q3 2025 launch target for this beta wallet. And importantly, it's designed mobile first.
Mobile first, that sounds pretty crucial these days.
Oh, absolutely essential, especially in emerging markets where remittances are vital. For billions, the smartphone is their bank, their connection to financial services.
So it signals accessibility right off the bat.
Exactly. It shows they understand their target users, how they live, how they manage money. It's about meeting people where they are.
But it's what's inside the wallet that's really interesting. It's not just for holding crypto, right?
Not at all. It's meant to be a proper financial tool. Supports over 40 cryptos, over 30 fiat currencies.
Wow.
And here's the kicker, the feature that could be the real game changer. Real-time foreign exchange conversions for everyday users.
Real-time FX. So none of those delays or guessing the rate?
That's the promise. It directly attacks a major friction point in global finance.
And this connects right back to pillar 1, the PayFi utility.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You need a user-friendly wallet, something intuitive, to actually deliver on that promise of seamless crypto-to-fiat. Without a good interface, the best tech stays niche.
The wallet is the bridge for the user, not the blockchain bridge.
Precisely. It makes the powerful tech usable for ordinary people.
So real-time FX, what does that actually mean for someone sending money? It sounds like it tackles the volatility problem.
It does.
Yeah.
If you're sending crypto, its value can swing wildly, even in a few hours. Being able to convert it instantly when you make the transaction massively reduces that risk.
Right, you lock in the value immediately.
Plus, it's just convenient. Instant transactions, no waiting for banks to open or for the market to look right. It's a huge step up in user experience.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Imagine a freelancer in Brazil gets paid in Bitcoin by a client in Germany.
Okay.
With real-time FX and the Remittix wallet, They could supposedly hit a button and instantly convert that Bitcoin to Brazilian reais at the current market rate right into their linked account. No worrying that Bitcoin might drop 10% before they can cash out.
That removes a lot of stress and potential loss.
A huge amount.
Yeah.
Compare that to juggling different apps, one for holding, one for trading, one for fiat transfers. Remittix aims to put it all in one place. That makes it much more appealing for everyday use, not just for crypto traders. India Times really highlighted this integration and mobile access as a key strength.
Yeah, removing friction is key. Okay, let's shift gears to pillar 4. Institutional and whale interest. This always gets my attention. Big money moving usually means something's up.
Right, and sources like Coin Central, CoinDo, they keep mentioning Remittix as a whale-preferred presale. Whales, for anyone unfamiliar, are those investors with really deep pockets, sophisticated players.
And what's surprising here, according to the sources,
What's really interesting, maybe even counterintuitive, is that this whale interest is apparently strong, even compared to established giants like Solana or Chainlink.
wow, really? Over SOL and Link. Those have huge market caps, track record.
Exactly. Which suggests these whales see something compelling, maybe undervalued. In Remittix, it's not just hype driving them, it's a strategic allocation.
So why? Why would these big smart money players pick Remittix, the newer kid on the block, over giants they probably already hold? What's the reason given in the sources?
The sources point clearly to two things: Remittix's perceived massive growth potential, and critically, its strong utility-focused model.
Utility again.
Yes. Whales aren't usually just chasing quick flips. They look for strong fundamentals, real-world use cases, and the potential to grab significant market share. Seeing them choose Remittix suggests they view its path to capturing a slice of that huge remittance market as maybe more attractive or perhaps de-risked compared to the next leg of growth for the established players.
A fundamentally sounder bet for long-term, utility-driven growth, perhaps.
That seems to be the implication. And why should the rest of us care about whale interest? It's not just that they have lots of money.
No, it signals something deeper.
That's a powerful signal, yeah. It suggests deep research, strong conviction in the project's long-term prospects, its value proposition, its ability to actually execute. These players do serious due diligence analysts, models, regulatory checks.
They don't throw millions around lightly.
Exactly. Their investment is a calculated position based on fundamentals. And there's that anecdotal evidence mentioned in Remittix materials and Coin Central.
About DOGE and XRP holders moving money in.
Yeah, it's suggesting even holders of established coins are seeing significant upside potential in Remittix, enough to diversify strategically. That's a strong vote of confidence. They're making serious bets.
That does speak volumes. Okay, pillar 5, the final one, momentum comparisons and strategic market positioning. India Times mentions Remittix surging over 510% year-to-date in 2025. That kind of number turns heads.
For sure. A gain like that, especially for a newer project in this market, shows really strong market confidence and rapid early interest. It's getting noticed, validated beyond just the initial pre-sale investors.
And it's not just the raw number, but the comparisons being made. Sources are putting Remittix up against XRP, the big dog in crypto cross-border payments for years.
That's the bold comparison. XRP has the history, the institutional links.
So what's the angle? Why position Remittix as a competitor or even an improvement? What are its supposed advantages?
The sources consistently highlight two main perceived advantages: lower perceived regulatory risk and lower scalability risk compared to XRP.
Ah, regulatory risk. That's been XRP's Achilles heel, especially in the U.S.
Exactly. That long legal battle cast a big shadow. If Remittix can genuinely sidestep those kinds of issues through its design, its model, maybe its legal setup, that's a massive selling point. It avoids a huge headache its predecessor faced.
Regulatory clarity is gold in crypto. Okay, and scalability risk. What does that mean? Is Remittix built differently, technically? Or is it the PayFi model itself?
It seems to be a bit of both. The phrase more modern PayFi model, used by India Times and crypto economy, suggests it's built with today's tech and regulatory landscape in mind.
More agile, maybe.
Potentially. It might use off-chain methods for speed or a highly optimized ledger just for remittances, unlike more general blockchains. That 510% gain, it signals the market believes Remittix is well-positioned strategically to grab a piece of the remittance pie, maybe by avoiding the bottlenecks or legacy issues older players have.
Okay, those 5 pillars really lay out the argument for Remittix's potential. A solid framework. Now let's dig a bit deeper into the specifics, the data, the comparisons, the metrics, starting with that XRP versus Remittix angle, the modern approach.
Right. So XRP was the pioneer, no doubt. Still huge in cross-border payments.
Yeah.
But Remittix is deliberately positioning itself as more modern.
What does modern mean in practice here, according to the sources?
Means emphasizing things like true real-time transactions, aiming for much slower fees, and having that broader reach across many fiat currencies right from the start, all while trying to minimize those regulatory and scaling issues we just talked about.
Yeah.
It's framed as a direct response to where the market is now.
So is it really next gen, a true evolution, or just tweaking the existing model? What gives Remittix the actual edge over a veteran like XRP? Is it their tech, their bank links, how they handle the cash out?
The core difference seems to be that architectural approach.
Yeah.
XRP often worked by letting banks use XRP as a bridge currency. Remittix, with its no bridges, no FX fees mantra, points towards a more direct bank account system.
Like using APIs to plug straight into local payment systems.
That's the likely mechanism. Deep integration with local partners in those 30-plus countries, allowing instant fiat payout from a crypto payment, all managed seamlessly, potentially without the user ever needing to deal with multiple platforms.
And all within that mobile app.
That's the idea. Crypto storage, conversion, direct bank transfer, all in one place. That user experience, that simplicity, that could be the next-gen element that makes it truly compelling for ordinary people and businesses.
That clarity definitely helps define the potential edge. Okay, let's talk numbers. Presale, performance, projections. That presale closing in on $20 million,
Well,
it's more than just funding, right? It's a sentiment indicator.
absolutely. Watching that number climb shows how close they are to hitting that CEX listing trigger we discussed. It's a visible sign of momentum of investor belief. CoinCentral and India Times note this transparency around a key milestone is attractive.
And that plus 510% YTD gain in 2025. How does that stack up against other big altcoins like SOL, ADA, Litecoin in the same time frame? Is it really standing out?
Oh, it's definitely standing out. While SOL, ADA, LTC have had their moves, a 510% surge for a newer project like Remittix is exceptional. It shows that underdog growth trajectory, the kind of explosive early momentum mature assets usually don't see anymore. It signals intense market interest, a belief that something significant is happening here.
The market reevaluating its potential.
Exactly. That kind of growth often comes when projects hit key early milestones and gain real traction.
Speaking of milestones, that CEX listing, what typically happens to volume and price when a new token hits a major exchange? What should people realistically expect?
Historically, you almost always see a big jump in trading volume immediately. More access, more eyes on it.
Right.
And that usually causes a short-term price spike, the so-called listing pump. But, and this is important,
Doesn't always last.
exactly, there's often a cooling off period, a consolidation. The long-term price then depends on the project actually delivering. Does the utility catch on? Do they keep developing? Get partnerships? Build a real user base?
So for Remittix, the initial pop might happen, but then it's all about whether people actually use the PayFi service, the wallet.
Precisely. That's what sustains value beyond the initial hype.
Which brings us to the wallet utility metrics. What's the real potential scale here? How could Remittix realistically take market share from giants like Wise or Western Union? They move billions.
Hundreds of billions annually. It's a colossal market. Think about the average person sending, say, $300 home every month.
Okay.
Even low fees from traditional services can easily be 3–5%, plus hidden costs in the exchange rate. That might be 7–10% effective cost. $20, $30 lost on that $300 transfer, plus it takes days.
Right, it adds up quickly.
Now imagine Remittix's mobile wallet. If it delivers on near zero fees and real-time FX, saving that $20, $30 per transaction, plus getting the money there instantly. That's incredibly compelling for millions.
It's a direct economic benefit.
Huge. It could drive massive user growth, especially in remittance-heavy corridors. Word of mouth could be powerful. So the key metrics to watch aren't just the RTX price, but actual transaction volume through the wallet, number of active users. That shows real market capture.
Tangible adoption. Okay, and finally, the price forecast versus utility. Sources mention projections like 0.070855 for 2025, maybe 0.092 for 2026. How are these linked to the utility? They can't just be numbers plucked from thin air.
Well, presumably these targets from places like X.com or Globe Newswire are based on Remittix successfully rolling out and getting significant adoption of its core PayFi utility.
So the price follows the usage.
That's the theory. The more payments happen, the more users join, the more volume goes through the wallet, the more underlying demand there should be for the RTX token. If the model really disrupts the old ways, faster, cheaper, easier, then those price targets start to look plausible, maybe even conservative, given the market size.
But, And this is a big but, essential for balance. We have to acknowledge the skepticism. Sources mention Reddit threads, people asking if Remittix is a scam or just too speculative.
Absolutely critical point. In crypto, you always need a healthy dose of skepticism. It's smart. Those Reddit discussions, they often raise valid points about new projects, unproven tech, ambitious promises, potential hype cycles.
Pump and dumps.
Exactly. So for you listening, it's vital to look at everything, including the criticisms. Do your own research. Don't just take marketing or price targets as gospel.
The utility has to be proven, not just promised.
Precisely. The crypto graveyard is full of projects with great white papers that went nowhere. Execution and adoption are everything.
Okay, so connecting all these dots, the utility, the momentum, the wallet, the whale interest, the positioning, what does it mean for Remittix in the bigger crypto picture? It feels like it fits into that larger trend, right? The shift towards tokens with actual tangible uses.
Definitely. The market seems to be maturing, moving beyond pure speculation or meme coins, thankfully. Investors, users, they increasingly want projects that solve real problems, that have a sustainable model.
Like a real business.
Kind of, yeah. And Remittix, focusing squarely on payments, fits right into that utility-first category. It appeals to people looking for tangible value, not just hype.
Which brings up a big question for you, the listener. Could Remittix really become the Bitcoin of payment tokens, like some analysts suggest? Revolutionize remittances? Or is that just too bold a claim for a newer project?
It's provocative, isn't it? Bitcoin of X implies ultimate dominance, becoming the foundational standard. For Remittix, that means capturing a massive chunk of the multi-trillion-dollar remittance market, becoming the default way to do crypto-to-fiat globally.
A huge task.
Monumental. Needs killer tech, solid partnerships, navigating regulations worldwide, and just massive sustained user adoption. They seem ambitious, but it's a long road.
And another thing for you to think about. Do you lean towards utility-first tokens like Remittix, with that clear real-world angle? Or do you prefer established altcoins, maybe with more uncertain growth paths, but more history?
It's a core investment question right now. Utility tokens offer value based on usage, potentially more predictable growth, like a traditional business. Established coins have liquidity, recognition, but maybe more competition or different risks, like those regulatory issues we mentioned with XRP.
A trade-off between disruption and establishment.
Oh, exactly. It's about where you see the better risk-reward balance.
This has been a really deep dive into Remittix. We've covered its utility, strategy, the interest it's getting. So thinking about everything, the wallet, the CE listing plan, the whale interest, and given how fast digital finance is changing, what single aspect of Remittix's plan do you, the listener, think will be the biggest factor in its long-term success? Or maybe what's its biggest potential roadblock? Something to chew on.
Yeah, pinpointing that key driver or the main hurdle is crucial for any real analysis.
So, quick recap. We hit the PayFi utility, the presale leading to the CEX trigger, the beta wallet with real-time FX potential, that significant whale interest, and its positioning against players like XRP. Lots of compelling points, but also, as we said, important to consider the skepticism too.
And hey, if you found this breakdown useful, got some fresh insights, and want to keep up with this fast-moving crypto world, hitting that like button really does help us out.
It does, and please think about subscribing to the deep dive if you haven't already. Every sub helps us keep doing these detailed analyses for you.
Honestly, your engagement, liking, subscribing, even just dropping a comment with your thoughts or questions, it's incredibly important. It genuinely helps us get seen by the algorithms, reach more people like you, and lets us keep putting in the time to create this kind of in-depth content.
Exactly. Your support is what makes these deep dives possible. Thanks so much for spending your time with us today, digging into Remittix. Stay curious, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.